Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the RSS Feed plugin. This is a Coaching No Code Apps plugin. It's free to use, and essentially it lets you pull in RSS feeds so that you can display it back in your application. RSS is basically a way for a website to distribute their blog content, their news articles in real time. Users can subscribe to the feed to get the content as it becomes available. Typically, there are you can use a feed reader so that you can view all the content in a really legible format. Let me show you an example here. So this is a science magazine called Discover, and they have a section in their website that lists all of their different RSS channels. So Discover is the publisher of the content, and they have multiple channels here. They've got one for their top stories. They have a whole bunch for different blog feeds. And within each channel, so if I click on top stories, you can see the channel content. So each item here is a different article within their top stories channel. So you get the title, the date it was published, a description. Clicking into it will take you to the actual article on their site. So this is the official blog URL for it. And like I said, typically people use feed readers to be able to view this content. There's lots of them out there. Feedly is a very popular one. And it's just a way to kind of bookmark all of the different feeds you want to subscribe to. And if you were to go to the raw RSS URL, you're going to see the content something like this, because essentially what it is just an XML file of text. And obviously there's a lot of tags and stuff here. It doesn't make it very easy to read. So that's why feed readers exist, and that's why we have this plugin here, so that if you do want to display your RSS content in your application, you have the power to pull in the data, but then Bubble will let you design that list of content however you'd like, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the RSS feed that comes in with the plugin will give you both the channel information, so you'll have the name of the channel. Sometimes channels come with an image. They'll have descriptions, so you can display that top level information, and of course the list of channel items, each one of these items here. So first thing that I would do for you to explore how this plugin works is add a group to your page and set the type of content. And of course, you'll want to have this plugin installed first. Set the type of content to the group to RSS feed. One second, this should be get feed. Get feed is the type of content. And then the data source, you'll want to go to get data from an external API. And the API provider, just type in feed and you'll select RSS get feed, and you can leave that just as it is right there. Now see here with the feed URL, you can replace this sample URL with your own. So I can grab this URL here. And if you are the publisher of your own RSS content, the platform that you've built your blog on should give you the RSS link. So I'll paste that in there for the top stories by Discover magazine. So now it's going to pull in the channel data for the top stories channel. So inside of my group now, I can display the channel title. So we'll do insert dynamic data, parent groups, get feeds, channel title. Now see all of these different fields here. These are all of the different things you can display about the channel. You have title, description, link, category, all of these different things. Some channels, like I said, might have an image, so you could display an image URL inside of an image element. But let's just do the title for now. Okay, and I'm just going to make this a little bit more like a channel title here. Let me make this a bit wider. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and preview the page so you can see what this looks like. Okay, there it is. It just says top stories because that is my channel title. Remember, top stories. Now if I go to the inspector tool here and highlight the group, not the text, but the group itself. Remember, I set the type of content and the data source of that group to the get feed from the plugin. So you can actually see all of the different field values that are available to you. For this particular feed, it looks like they only have title, description. They do have a link to the channel. This is RSS Master Feeds Top Stories. That's this one here. And a couple of other ones. Not all of them are going to be filled out, but this is a good way to very quickly see what is available to you for the channel. Now, within the channel, the very last item here, you have channel item. So I'm going to open that up, and we can see here is the list of all of the content. Okay, so we're going to use a repeating group with a separate data source to display all of this. So back on my page, I'm going to grab the repeating group element, draw it on my page here. And the type of content here, I'm going to do RSS channel item, okay, because what we are showing is a list of channel items, not a list of channels. So the data source in this case, we're going to start with get data from an external API. And I'll just type in RSS. Now, get feed is the same API provider as the channel that we did with the group at the top, but you're going to continue navigating down to that last field, RSS channel item. This is actually a list of items. Okay, so now this is a compatible format here. So now I can display a text inside of the cell to show the current cell's channel items title. You can see we have description and link, category, comments, and publication date as well for each channel item. So I'm going to do the title. Let's also do the publication date, which is a date value. So if you want to format it in any way, you certainly can do that. Okay, and let me do one more. I'll do the link to the item with a link element here. So I'm going to insert dynamic data, get the channel items link. And since I know that this is going to an outside page out of my app, I'm going to set this to external URL. And for the destination URL, again, it'll just be the channel items link. This up here is just the label for it. So this doesn't have to be, but it doesn't have to be the same. Excuse me, it doesn't have to be the same as the link. But you can say something like click here to view or something, click here to open, something like that. All right, so I'm going to refresh the page. There we go. So now we have all of the feed items for this feed. Oh, actually, I did not change the URL because the content didn't look like the Discover content. So over here, I didn't change this. So I'm going to just paste in that same Discover URL. And while I'm here, I'm also going to sort by the publication date so that the newest ones are at the top. So sorting with descending, yes. Okay, so now we can refresh the page. The plugin does come with sample data, so that's why if you don't change the URL, you're going to see this kind of placeholder data there. There we go. So here's our Discover top stories. The newest one was September 16th of 2019. Looks like they update their content pretty frequently, and there it is. So if I click on this link here, again, that's just going to take me to the actual blog article on their site. And that's how you can structure this RSS plugin for your own content. Now, one last thing is, again, this URL, you can have your users control what this URL is. I'm going to move this stuff down a bit. Now, if you had an input on the page, then you can replace that URL with a dynamic value so that it pulls from the input instead. So here with our channel, instead of me pasting it in there so that it's going to be the same for everyone, I can have my users change it simply by inserting the inputs value that they type in. Same for my repeating group. This will be the inputs value. Okay. So if there's nothing in there, again, it's just going to show that sample data. But if I copy in that top stories, it'll update. And if I wanted to switch this out, I do have another feed that I pulled up here for their full blog content. It's just everything, not just their top stories. So if I go back into the URL here and switch this out for another URL, then you can see latest blogs here has been updated. The content has also been updated. It probably overlaps with top stories, but I can see here that this is a different category that I saw here from their blog feeds. And yeah, that's how it works. So again, make use of the debugger here so that you can see all of the content that is available to you. If you were to click on the repeating group, or even within the group up, this group here where it shows your channel content, you'll at least know when to expect data and when not to expect it. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment below. There are many more tutorials just like this in our VIP membership. If you are interested in joining and you haven't already, there is a link to learn more in the description below. Thanks so much.